He was just trying to eat breakfast when two cops tried to humiliate him. Then he made one phone call, and two careers began to collapse. It's 8:03 a.m., a gray Tuesday in Macon, Georgia. The kind of morning where the sky feels like wet concrete. Inside Gus's diner, coffee is average, kindness is premium, and the corner booth by the window belongs to one man, Malik Ward. Malik's army field jacket is older than the dishwasher, but spotless. Beard trimmed, hands steady. He pays cash, tips well, talks little. To strangers, he looks like a man holding on. To the people in this diner, he's family. "Morning, Mr. Ward," says Nina, the waitress who runs the floor like a smile in traffic. "Usual?" He nods. Scrambled eggs, grits, 2 strips of bacon, toast if it isn't burnt, coffee, black. The bell on the door gives a tired jingle. 2 officers enter like they own the air. Officer Barnes, broad-shouldered and bored, and Officer Kyle, square-jawed, holding a small tablet like a verdict. "Sir," Barnes says, already staring at Malik. "You a customer here?" "I am." "You buy anything?" Kyle asks. "Breakfast is on the way." "Receipt?" Barnes says. Nina steps in. "He's a regular. I rang him up." Barnes doesn't even look at her. "Did I ask you?" Gus, the owner, lifts a hand from behind the counter. "Nina." His eyes say, "Don't feed the fire." Malik slides over a worn VA card. "This all you got?" Barnes asks. "It's all I need," Malik replies. Something heavy settles over the room. Forks pause. The radio near the register crackles, like it knows a storm when it hears one. "How long you planning to sit here?" Barnes presses. "Long enough to eat, like everyone else." Nina lands the plate quietly. "Here you go, Mr. Ward." Kyle tilts his head. "You homeless?" "I don't have a house," Malik says evenly. "But I have a home in this town." Barnes smirks. "Got smart answers, huh?" Malik doesn't rise to it. He chews, swallows, folds his napkin. 2 tours in Iraq. Worked security until my knees gave up. I pay for what I eat. You speaking to me like I broke into someone's kitchen. "Relax," Barnes says to the room. "Just doing our job." "Then check the register," Nina fires back. "He paid." Kyle walks out to the cruiser to run it. The door closes with that soft thud that always sounds like a warning. Malik reaches into his jacket, slow, calm, and sets a scratched flip phone on the table. One thumb presses a speed dial. He lifts it to his ear. "It's happening again," he says. Then he closes the phone and sets it beside the coffee cup. The air goes thin. "Who the hell did you call?" Barnes asks. "You said you were doing your job," Malik answers, voice level. "Now I'm doing mine." "Stand up and come outside," Barnes orders, moving for the cuffs. The door blasts open before metal meets wrist. A man in a navy suit and an overcoat crosses the floor like he's measured it already. He flips a leather case. Assistant Director Adrian Pike, Department of Justice. Badge numbers, now. Kyle freezes halfway back from the cruiser. Barnes bristles. "With all due respect, I'm not your supervisor," Pike says, voice cool and lethal. "I'm your investigation. You questioned a civilian without cause, a veteran, while your body cams were recording. No one breathes." Nina's eyes shine with something like fear and something like fury. "Outside," Pike says. The officers go, shoulders tight, faces pale. The diner stays hushed, the kind of quiet that looks you in the eye. Pike turns to Malik, lowering his voice. "You all right?" "I didn't want to call you," Malik says. "I know," Pike replies. "You were right to." Gus sets a fresh mug down. "Coffee's on the house." "Put it on me," Malik says. "I always pay." Pike slides a card across the table. "If anyone tries this again, call that number." Malik nods once. "Appreciate it." The day tries to pretend it's normal again. It isn't. 2 hours later, a teenager in a hoodie bursts in, phone in hand. "You're him, right?" The veteran. "You're everywhere." "Someone posted the body cam. TikTok blew up. You're trending." Nina's jaw tightens. "What's it show?" The girl turns her screen. The disrespect, the cuffs almost closing, the phone call, the suit walking in like a verdict. A whole story in 4 minutes and 21 seconds. "I'm not a hero," Malik says, eyes on his cold toast. "You're not invisible anymore," she says, softer. She leaves like a messenger who did her job. By noon, local tickers run the footage. By evening, pundits dissect it. By midnight, the digging starts. Someone finds an old, grainy photo from Fallujah. 3 soldiers in sand and shadow. Caption: Sergeant Malik Ward, Task Force Raven, 2006. Veterans Whisper, a redacted commendation surfaces, hostage recovery, classified missions, a quiet ledger of courage with no ceremony, no speeches, only paper and memory. Malik doesn't have Twitter, doesn't want it. He stares at the VA card on his table, a plastic rectangle that never got him a landlord's yes, a decent job, or a thank you at the right time. Now it's content. That feels wrong, even when it's right. Calls come anyway. Pike again. Brace yourself. Congressional offices. National outlets. A nonprofit wants to buy you a house. I sat down for breakfast, Malik says. You stood up without standing up, Pike answers. By Thursday morning, the police department issues a statement about an ongoing investigation. The internet isn't hungry for statements. It wants consequences. It finds Officer Kyle's accounts and they vanish. It digs up Officer Barnes's old comments. Some of it is rotten. Protesters line the sidewalk. No chance, just presents and cardboard signs. I am Malik Ward. Reporters start peeling layers. Turns out the complaint never materialized, but the complaint history did. Prior profiling reports, shelved and dusty. Letters mailed to nobody. Files nobody opened. One phone call knocked the whole tree loose. The diner becomes a pilgrimage. People ask to sit where Malik sat. One guy tries to take a selfie with the chair. I'm not an attraction, Malik mutters. You're a mirror, Nina says. People don't like what they see when they look in. That evening, a van parks outside the shelter. Two men in suits ask for Malik. An envelope changes hands. A letter from the Secretary of Veterans Affairs. Apology. Expedited housing voucher. Counselor. Caseworker. Therapy. I didn't ask for this, Malik says. You earned it a long time ago, the younger man replies. The world just saw it today. Friday, suspensions. The mayor at a podium. The chief apologizing in legalese. By the weekend, Kyle resigns. Barnes clings to a thread everyone can see fraying. Malik sits on a bench outside the shelter. Cigarette in hand, he doesn't usually take. An older woman pauses. Thank you, she says. For what? She doesn't specify. He nods anyway. He knows. Sunday morning, Gus's diner exhales. No cameras. No hashtags. Just regulars and grease and the soft scrape of forks. Malik stands instead of sliding into his booth. I have something to say, he tells the room. The noise fades. I'm not a hero. I didn't come here to be a story. I came for eggs and coffee. He looks at Gus, then Nina. You saw me as a person. Some folks didn't. The video made them look. Looking isn't the same as understanding. I wore this jacket in the desert, he says, fingers brushing canvas. I watched men I loved die in the dirt for a country that forgets us the moment we hang the uniform. I didn't ask for praise. I asked for a chair. Not a parade, just a plate. There are thousands like me. You won't see their names crawling a news ticker. Some are on cots. Some are working through pain that never clocks out. Some stop talking because being invisible is exhausting. Being poor isn't a crime. Being tired isn't a weakness. And being human shouldn't be suspicious. No one claps. No one needs to. Truth doesn't always want applause. It wants space. People drift up through the morning, leaving folded bills by his mug, a note, a look that says, I see you. Gus tops off his coffee without asking. Nina wipes a cheek and pretends it's nothing. That afternoon, Malik packs his few things at the shelter. The VA apartment key is cold and heavier than it looks. He turns it in his palm like a future he didn't dare picture. News cycles spin away to the next outrage. Malik doesn't spin with them. He plants. In a neighborhood that says hello first. He volunteers at a nearby school, talking about service, about silence, about refusing to disappear. Staff introduce him simply. This is Mr. Ward. You'll want to hear him. Because the country that scrolled past him now listens. More importantly, it sees. Let this be the reminder. Not every hero wears a cape. Some wear jackets older than you. Some don't raise their voices. Some fight wars you'll never read about and wars you walk past every day. Respect shouldn't arrive only after a funeral. It belongs at the table, before the coffee goes cold. So when you cross someone the world overlooks, don't just stare. See. Don't just look. Listen. And if you can, sit down beside them. Sometimes standing up starts with sharing a booth.